An image that Iran and its militias didn't want to see has just gained traction. The A-10 Warthog roared again at the center of the crisis this Tuesday, March 31, 2026. What we see in the Middle East is an increasingly overt escalation, with the United States using an aircraft that many considered too old for modern warfare, but that now reappears as a direct tool of pressure against armed groups linked to Tehran. The main point is clear when Washington decides to crush militia positions and protect the oil shipping route. A-10 stops being a symbol of the past and becomes a weapon sending a brutal message today. An offensive that comes from the sky, passes through Iraq, and hits the heart of the dispute over the Strait of Hormuz. What happened objectively was the following. The United States confirmed on March 19th attacks against militias aligned with Iran in Iraq. General Dan Keynes said that helicopters had been attacking these groups to suppress threats against American forces and interests. A few days later, the situation got worse. On March 23rd, bombings against the Popular Mobilization Forces, the PMF, in Anbar killed at least 15 fighters, according to Reuters. And on March 25th, the most sensitive episode occurred. An attack hit the Rabbaniya base in western Iraq, killing 7 soldiers and leaving 13 wounded. Baghdad denounced the case as a serious act of aggression, while Washington denied targeting a military clinic. Who is involved in this conflict also needs to be made clear. On one side are the United States with their Air Force, attack helicopters, troops on standby, and military command, increasing the pressure. On the other side, Iran and its network of regional allies, especially armed groups in Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen. In the Iraqi case, the PMF is decisive because it brings together factions with strong ties to Tehran. And it has already received authorization from Iraq's National Security Council to exercise self-defense and respond to attacks against its positions. This detail carries a lot of weight because it turns Iraqi territory into a zone increasingly drawn into the war. And that's exactly where Hades comes in as a political and military asset. It isn't just an attack aircraft. How do the United States respond to this with a mix of airstrikes, a reinforced military presence, and preparation for larger operations? The use of Hades has already been described by specialized outlets based on statements from General Duncan himself. The Warthog is hunting fast attack boats in the Strait of Hormuz. This helps explain why an aircraft that many considered outdated has regained prominence. It is used for tough, direct, and more affordable missions against small and fast targets, such as armed boats and exposed positions. At the same time, Reuters revealed that thousands of paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division have begun arriving in the Middle East, adding to about 2,500 Marines sent earlier. Among the options being considered are protecting oil routes, increasing pressure on the Iranian coast, and even supporting actions at strategic points such as Karg Island. Why does this matter so much now? Because this war is no longer just an exchange of attacks between Israel, the United States, and Iran. If Iran manages to choke off Hormuz, it puts pressure on the global market and forces several nations to pick a side. If the United States counters that pressure, they weaken not only Tehran, but also its militias and its ability to spread threats throughout the region. Washington wants to show that it is willing to strike at the front lines, at the militias, and at the roots that sustain Iranian power. And Hades, which many thought was too old for this war, reappears as a simple, aggressive, and highly symbolic tool of this new phase.